What's that? You want to learn a little more about Ellis Island? Well, you came to the right guy. Ellis Island, place of hope, opportunity, and new beginnings. Opened between the years of 1892 and 1954, Ellis Island saw approximately 12 million immigrants become American citizens. Men, women, and children immigrated from places across the world, including countries such as Ireland, Germany, and Italy. During their journey, many immigrants sought a new life, looking for wealth, freedom from persecution, and family life with the promise of limitless opportunity. However, immigrants would first have to arrive at the island via ship. Where they stayed on the ship during the journey was dependent on either class, wealth, or how much they paid for that ticket. Those who were of the upper class or wealthy stayed near the top of the boat, whereas those who were less affluent stayed at the bottom of the boat, in what was called steerage. Most people venturing to Ellis Island were those who were looking for a better life or wealth. So, most of them stayed in steerage. This led to lots of overcrowding and unsanitary conditions.
Let's see how the people in steerage were feeling back then.
What in the shit? I should have just paid the extra $20. But many immigrants, despite facing challenging conditions such as these, stuck out the journey. Once they arrived in America, healthy first and second class passengers were processed right away and were allowed to enter the U.S. without setting a foot on Ellis Island. As for those who were not so fortunate, they would leave their bags in the baggage room and head towards the registration room. These potential immigrants would climb a set of winding stairs and enter the registry hall, better known today as the Great Hall. Here, most immigrants would be examined to see if they were fit to enter the U.S. Doctors would perform a 6-second physical exam to see if the travelers were fit to enter. Each person was asked a series of questions for a mental interview. If someone was deemed a poor candidate, they were marked with chalk and sent back for further, more detailed examination.
Let's take a closer look at that.
Next. I'm gonna need you to turn around for me, sir. I'm fine, man. Just trust me. It's just hot up here. That's all.
Should I let him in? I mean, he seems like an honest guy.
Hey yo, what the f?
If a potential immigrant passed the medical examination, they would move on to the legal inspection. Once there, passengers would be checked against a manifest and asked 29 questions. If they answered any question wrong, or they did not match what the manifest said, they would be detained immediately. As for those who passed, they would be allowed to enter the country with a stamped landing card and be able to make a currency exchange or even mail a postcard. And while this might seem great at first, it definitely broke some immigrants' hearts when they saw what the actual country looked like. To quote one anonymous Italian immigrant,
Well, I came to America because I heard the streets were paved with gold. When I got here, I found out 3 things. First, the streets weren't paved with gold. Second, they weren't paved at all. And third, I was expected to pave them.
as for those who were detained, they were either sent back to their country, either immediately or after being held for a couple of months. Some of these detainees, though, were still admitted into the country. Only a whopping 2% of immigrants were sent back to their original country, full expenses paid. Immigrants who passed through the system were now considered U.S. citizens, able to live a new life with limitless opportunity and potential. What they would make of it would now be up to them.